Hello guys, good evening for everyone. So yeah, I see a lot of requests. You asked me to discuss about, most of you asked me to discuss about Earth, and then some will ask me to discuss about rotation and how to find the rotation point, and some actually say about the what speed time graph, something like that. So I think today I will more focus on the Earth and the transformation for rotation maybe. So yeah, so actually I choose the MRSM paper, which is MRSM 2020 paper. Alright, so yeah. So we start with the Earth first. So you have any question about Earth, you can ask me. So if because today the live streaming is about 1 hour, so like after my discuss already, then I will go to the transformation. So transformation are more focused on rotation, okay? Then after that, you if you have any question you want to ask me, yeah, you can ask me after that. So let's go to the Earth. Normally is the last question or last second questions. Really depend on the paper. Okay, this is the Earth questions. All right, so okay. Normally, when you see the Earth questions, right? When you see the questions do not have the diagram, means the question does not draw the Earth for you. The question normally is easier, based from my experience. So okay, when we do the Earth question, right? So like what I always will do is I will write down all the location, all the coordinates. No matter I have it or I don't have it, I will spare some space for it because it's easier for me using that methods to actually like see how the plane travel and all that. So like in this case, we have about J, we have about K, and then we have L and M. So whatever location I have, I will just like write it down. 99 W. And then this one, we don't have the latitude. They tell us is a Y degree N. Alright, and 99 West. And then we don't have L and M. Okay, so by doing this, so what I can see is J and K actually they're located at the same longitude. In Earth topic, right? Same longitude. Sometimes they will use a keyword like same meridian. Okay, meridian here actually mean that they're actually located at the same line. So therefore, if you ask me, this is the let's say this is the longitude of 99 west. So therefore, I can imagine J will be somewhere at the bottom and K will be somewhere on the top. And you might ask me, sir, how do you know K is above of J? Because of N. N actually stands for north, isn't it? And S actually stands for south. So south actually at the bottom, isn't it? North is at the north direction, which is at the top there. Alright, so yeah, this is how I see the information. And normally the question definitely will tell you the diameter. It's either you only have two types of the diameter. It's either diameter of the Earth or diameter of the common parallel latitude. Alright, because both of these diameter, you also need to use the 180 minus your longitude and then change the sign. That one is confirmed already. But then the latitude we only need to change when it's the diameter of the Earth. If diameter of the common parallel latitude, they have the same latitude, then we do not need to change the latitude. So here I say again, so we have two types, diameter of the Earth and diameter of the common parallel latitudes. So when I read the question, I will normally be very careful. They say Km is a diameter of a common parallel of latitude. This is exactly like what I say. Then I will focus as K and M here. Okay, so you pay attention at K and M here. Common parallel latitude means what? They're at the same latitude. I will just copy their latitude value here. In this case, the latitude value is just Y, so I just copy the Y first. Maybe later I can find what is Y. Alright, and then since it's diameter, so what we want to do for the longitude here, we'll use 180 minus 99. And then we change the sign. If W, we change to E. If E, we change back to W. So therefore, I will just, because here they ask about longitude only, they do not want me to find a latitude. So I'll just do something like this. Shows I'm working for 2 mark, 180 minus 99. Because always use 180 180 is fixed already. Because some students sure will ask me, sir, how do you know about using 180 to minus 8. Because diameter means both angle plus together must be 180. So this is the reason why I will use 180 minus whatever longitude for K. And then this is W, I change to E. Just like that, very easy. Type in the calculator. Then I get 2 marks. You can see this 2 marks basically, if I do this question, maybe I only spend about 5 seconds, I get this 2 marks already. 5 to 10 seconds, maybe I need to think a little bit, read the question a little bit. But like 10 seconds, get 2 marks is not too bad, right? Especially for paper 2. Because some K-mark question, even you spend 10 minutes also, you can't get about 2 marks. So yeah, so I find this one, part A is very easy. Okay, then what we want to do is a part B. They say K actually lies 4,800 nautical miles due north of J. So like what I say from the very beginning, J and K, both of them at the same meridian. They're at the same longitude. You might ask me, sir, how do you know? Because both also 99W. You see carefully, both also 99W. Mean both of them were at the same meridian, or we call same longitude. So K will be here at the bottom. K will be on the top, J at the bottom. So yeah, and then the longitude is 99W. But in this case, we don't need the longitude. But even though I know the longitude is just 99W. Alright, then we have a very important information is 4,800. This 4,800, right, is a distance. And in this topic, you only have 2 types of distance. The first type of the distance is whenever you want to travel from due north or due south. Okay, when you want to due north or due south, meaning you want to go north or go south, you actually use the first formula. This distance equals to theta will be the angle multiplied 60. That's all. If the particle, the plane is actually due east or due west, then you need to use second formula. D equals to theta times 60 times cos alpha. Right, so right now I have 2 formulas. The first formula is when the plane want to fly due north or south. So normally I will just tell my student when you want to fly up or fly down. And then for second formula, you want to fly left or right. Okay, this is the basic idea. So right now, you can see from J and K, their relationship is what? Up and down, isn't it? It's very obvious. And then so what we want to do is we want to find the distance. We have the distance, we want to find the angle. The distance they tell you, oh, is 4800. So if I have the distance, I can easily find the angle between them by using the formula. Distance equals to theta times 60. So this distance is 4800. Theta is the value I want to find, multiply 60. So I can get the theta easily. Divided by 60. Then just use the calculator. It's 80 degrees. Okay. Now, if you have the 80 degree, you shouldn't write 80 there. It's definitely wrong. Because 80 degree means what? I will from the J is what? 15 south, right? I will from the 15 south, I will move 80 degree to the K. Okay, so this is normally how I teach my student, right? So this is 15 south, right? And then you realize the 18 degree is go north. If you add the south position, you go north, we call opposite direction. Then we minus. You see what I'm doing here? 15 here, because this is 15 south, right? Right now I want to go north, it's opposite direction. I minus 80. So if my final answer have negative, then I need to change my south to the north. If the final answer is remain positive, then it's still at the south. You get the idea? So if I type enter, I get negative 65. I say final answer have negative means what? I will write 65. The negative means I need to change the sign from south to the north. So this one will be 65 north. Okay, this one will be 65. And this one will be 65. Okay, this is 81E. Okay, just imagine something extra here. So let's say today I only like move up like 10 degree. Then I use the 15, I minus 10. Means what? I have positive 5. That means is 5 south. Do you see? Because if I positive, basically mean the sign I don't need to change. But negative, I will need to change the sign. Okay? Okay, so, okay, one by one, I see a lot of requests about transformation. Yes, I will discuss after that, so you just chill first. Okay, so, yeah, they asked me to find the latitude of K. Just found it, 65 N. Alright, and 3 mark is not too bad. As long as you understand the basic here, I think it should be fine. Okay, C. Yeah, just now I see the chat room got student ask about shorter distance. Yes, this is the shorter distance. Okay, what I want to say at the very beginning, for shorter distance, we always use the distance formula is without multiply cos alpha one. Like I said just now, the formula theta times cos alpha times 60 times cos alpha, that one is you want to move left and right, right? But whenever you want to find a shorter distance, you only move up and down. So you will use the formula is d equals to theta times 60. Okay, so because shorter distance normally they need to fly through South Pole or North Pole, or they will fly to the or they will fly to the North Pole or fly to the South Pole, or they even can fly to the equator. So therefore you must know how to use the shorter distance. Okay, but here is one of the most common question for shorter distance, which is they choose the point which they are the diameter. Do you see K? You see at the very beginning, km is the diameter of the common parallel latitude. And then they ask you to find the shorter distance for km. This is one of the most common question for Earth. So how to do this kind of question? You need to draw half of the circle in 2 dimensions. This is normally what I will do. Okay, K and M, I see their latitude both also at 65 N. Then I will draw the half. Okay, this line is the equator. It's the middle of the Earth. And then we have a O is the center of the Earth. Okay, this is 2 dimensions, will be slightly different with the 3 dimension, but it's fine. Okay, so right now K and M both also at 65 N. So basically means what? Means from equator, I going up 65 degree. And then from equator, I going up 65 degree. Okay, one of it will be K, another one of it will be M. Because they are diameter, so it's like 180 degrees. Yeah, 180 degree among them. Alright, so right now, you need to understand, because if I want to travel using the shorter distance, right, I must travel through the North Pole. So I will travel through the North Pole like this. So this is the journey I will travel. In the blue color one, do you see that? And some students will ask me, sir, is it possible he travel through the South Pole? Like he travel all the way like this? Yes, it can, but it's not the shorter distance. Obviously, you can see the distance is longer. Okay, so right now, if I only want to travel the blue color one, so right now, the first question you will ask is, how many degree is travel? Because the distance formula is what? Degree multiplied 60. So if you do not know what is the degree, then it will be quite hard for you. So therefore, 180, we can minus 65, minus 65. Okay, so it travels 50 degree. Do you see that? It's actually at the middle that they travel 50 degree. Then I got the answer already. It's 3000. So if you got the degree, then it's just 50 degree times 60. That's all. 3000 nautical mile. Okay, because I take some time to explain to it. If I do this one myself, I maybe also spend like 10 seconds to do it. Okay, so yeah, so this is how you want to do this kind of question, especially shorter distance. You always need to consider to draw out the half of the circle. It will be easier for you to actually do this kind of questions. I hope you can understand that. Alright, then now if I have time, I will read some questions here. So I hope you can understand, because it's for me it's very easy, but if you don't get it, it might be quite hard for you. Alright, so let's go to the last part, which is this one. Okay, so right now we have a aeroplane. We will took off from L, and then due west, due west, you go due west here to the K. Okay, along the common parallel of latitude, basically mean both of them will have the same latitude. So K and L will have the same latitude because they say common parallel of latitude. So if I mark my location L here, I know there must be same latitude with K, so it's 65N as well. Alright, because they say common latitude. Okay, then is fluid due south, then it goes south to J. Okay, along the same meridian. So the total time taken is 20 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, so what we want to do here is definitely we need to find the total distance, because the question asks us to find what they ask us to find the average speed, so we kind of need to find the total distance. But over here, this is sort of the difficult. We slightly came by. I saw this similar question at the field state paper this year, so I think maybe something like this will come out this year, but I'm not 100% sure. Okay, it's like this. They will tell you some distance for KL is 2/3 of km, and they ask you to calculate the distance in nautical mile from L to K if KL is 2/3 of km. Right, so this one depends how you want to find here. There's few ways you can find. There are two methods you can find. One is you want to find the angle between, like, what is angle between K to L. Alright, so, okay, we see Km first. I believe we have the Km, right? Okay, we know K to M is 180 degrees because they are the diameter. So K to M is 180 degrees. So let's say we pay attention at degree. So you just imagine from K to M is 180 degrees because they are diameter. So if I want to make about something like 2/3, you just imagine KL is 2/3 of 180 degrees. So simplified 60 is 120. So that means I know from K to L, they will stop at somewhere at 120. So yeah, so it will be 120 travel here, and then travel to the M will be maybe another 60 degrees. You get the idea? Because this is how I actually separate the angle, because this one is like 2/3, another one is 1/3. So if you understand that, then you can find the distance already. Because right now I want to find KL, right? So therefore, they ask us to find the KL. So we know the distance. If you travel, right now we travel left and right, right? So therefore, distance is theta times 60 times cos alpha. Okay, angle is 120, 60 degrees. Alpha will be both of their latitude, which is 65. So 65. Okay, so then you just type everything into the calculator. You can easily get the answer, which is 3000. Yep, this is one of the way. Alright, so can you tell me the difference between KL and KM's sketch it? Okay, because KL and KM, they're actually at the same latitude. Okay, it's quite hard to demo for you because Earth is 3 dimension. But what I can understand is K to M. Okay, this is latitude 65N. Okay, you should know 65N basically is a plane. And then we have something like middle of the Earth. So K to M will be 180 degrees because it is diameter. And L will be somewhere at the middle here. And it actually will be 120 degrees like this. Okay, so if you want to travel K to L, this is how far you travel. From K, you will go like 120 degrees to the L there. Okay, so yep. So now I have the distance of KL. Okay, so then I want to find the average speed. So we know speed actually equals to distance over time. Or we can say like total distance divided by total time. Okay, so just now the question says what? From K due west to the L and then come down to the uh, and then due south to the J. Oh, from L to K, sorry. From L to K. Okay, L to K, we got the distance already, which is like 3042.85. And from K to J, I believe we have it at the second part there. K to J, do you see? K to J is 4,800 nautical mile. So come down here is 4800. So what I want to do is, in order to get the total distance, right, I will just plus both distance together, which is 3042.85 plus 4800 divided by total time. Okay, now this is another very tricky thing is, you don't write 20 hour 30 minutes at a time there if you got wrong. Because why? The speed is, the unit is cannot. In order to get the cannot, right, must be nautical mile over hour only. So therefore, the time can only accept hour. So you kind of need to divide the 30 minutes into 0.5 hour. How to get 0.5? You divide it by 60, then you get 0.5 hour. So plus another 20, so it's called 20.5 hour. Then you just type everything into the calculator, you will get the correct answer. So yeah, the speed is, average speed is 382.58. Cannot. Done, 12 mark. Okay, I will say the D1 is a little bit hard, but for D2 actually is quite easy. Yeah, some students ask about why cos 65? Because when we want to travel from K to L, you need to find the alpha will be their latitude value. So if you check back to the question, K and L both also located at the same latitude, which is 65. So yeah, this is how I get 65. So yeah, I see a lot of students at the chat room, so I hope the Alvin can help me monitor some chat. It's okay. So later, can you discuss some question about parameter, volume, and transformation? So I will go to the transformation first after this, and parameter and volume, maybe if we have time, let's see how. Okay, so right now we go to the transformation. Okay, do you have any question about Earth you want to ask me before I go to the transformation? Because I don't want to come back about Earth again. For mathematical reasoning, I think you can go to watch my video, or I believe few teachers actually make quite good video about mathematical reasoning, because it's nothing special to teach on. So okay, when need to use the cos, when the plane is travel due west or due east, you need to multiply cos alpha. If the plane travel due south or due north, then no need to multiply cos alpha. Okay, so okay, sometimes I find longitude is difficult. Yeah, when you travel like left and right, normally is slightly more difficult. Alright, then let's go to the transformation since no other questions here. Okay, let me teach you about how to rotate first. Then I will teach you on how to find the center point, because a lot of students ask me like how to find the center point. Okay, because it's quite hard for me to like demo here, but I try my best to make you understand here. Still have some Earth questions. Shorter distance when different latitude and longitude. Yeah, I don't get your questions. Yeah, maybe later if you have time, we will go to statistic a little bit. I will explain the statistic a little bit. Alright, so okay, so if today, of course here, I think we don't have any rotation here, surprisingly, because rotation is one of the most common question in transformation. But surprisingly, you can see here, if you ask me, this one is reflection first and then enlargement. So this is very easy. But here, I just want to teach you about rotation. So this is the purpose here. Okay, let's say, today I assume the center point is here. Okay, the center point, I just give it myself. Don't ask me, sir, how do you know the center point is there? I just give it myself, okay? Okay, because I want to do a demo, so I just simply give a center point here. Okay, so right now, if I want to rotate, or this one is my object lah. So just assume this is my object. And then I want to rotate 90 degree clockwise. Let's say I want to rotate 90 degree clockwise. Okay, see what happened, and this is how I rotate the thing. Now there's few methods I make about few video about rotation. You can go check it out as well. Okay, one of the way I like to use is, do you see a L here? Okay, right now we focus at the coordinate R. Do you see a sort of L here? I'm not sure you can see or not, this L. Okay, so I want you to imagine if this L, of course the L is kind of like the ballet already, but it doesn't matter. If this L, I want to rotate 90 degrees, what will it be? Imagine it. You must be able to imagine, or else there's no way I can teach you how to draw the rotation. So the L will become like this. Isn't it? If you rotate 90 degrees. If I want to rotate 90 degrees again, the L will become like this. If I want to rotate 90 degrees again, the L will become like this. Do you get the idea how I rotate it 90 degrees? Because you might get a different pattern of the L, so it's very depend. Alright, so right now, I want to rotate this L. So normally I will count like how many units for my L here. So if I count here, it's about 2 units and 1 unit, because you count 1, 2, 1. Alright, so if I want to rotate my L, will become like this. Do you see? This is what happens if I rotate my L 90 degrees. So my R will come into here. So this coordinate here will be my R prime, or which is the R coordinate I'm trying to find here. Okay, so if you get the idea, I'm going to do the same way for Q. You can see for Q here, I will draw a big L like this. So then this big L, of course I will count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 5, 1, 2, 2. So of course I rotate already, must follow back the unit 5 and 2, isn't it? So this is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hey, how come I cannot draw one? Oh my god, my computer kind of freeze already at this moment. So I don't know why my give me a while. Because the pen just suddenly it doesn't work at this moment. Oh my god. Okay, it come back to normal already. Finally. Okay, so let's continue this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Do you see here is 5, 2, right? If I rotate, I will get 5, 2 like this. Do you get the idea? You're just trying to imagine this is how you rotate it. Then, this is where my Q will be here. So I will do the same thing for P and S if I wanted to. But if you see the pattern, some students already can guess where is the P and S. So let's say I want to go P, right? You can see I will draw a big L like this. Okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is like 5, 6, isn't it? So you get 5, you will get 6. Then if I rotate like this, this is 5, this is 6. So therefore, I will count like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, so my P will be here. Then we erase it. Then yeah, then the last point definitely you should know is over here lah. Okay, and then of course you want to draw the L, you can do this. Then I will just draw it. Just draw like this. So this one will be my image. Okay, so I hope you can use this L methods. But some students, if you want to use a trace, like tracing paper, yeah, you can go ahead and do that. And yes, for this graph paper, graph question, you kind of need to use the pencil and don't use pen. Don't use pen in the exam. Okay, now the next question is, if today I do not know my center point, how am I going to find my center point? Okay, so this is one of the most asked questions, no matter in my video or in my live streaming. Okay, it's like this. This method can only use for 90 degrees. No matter clockwise or anti-clockwise, it doesn't matter. You also can use this method, but it's only used on 90 degrees. 180 degrees, you can't use this method. Okay, it's like this. You need to draw two perpendicular bisector line. I'm not sure you understand what is perpendicular bisector line or not, but I will roughly explain here. If today this is my R, this is my image of my R, or R prime. If I connecting them, this is not perpendicular bisector line. This is just a normal line connect between R and R prime. Perpendicular bisector line is in the blue color one. I need to have a line will cut through the middle point of R and R prime, and it must be perpendicular. Okay, this line called perpendicular bisector line. Okay, I short form called PBL. And in order to find the center point of 90 degrees, you need to draw two of the perpendicular bisector line and then find their intersection point. Then you can find the center point. Okay, because the center point will be that intersection point. Of course, you can draw more than two if you want, but minimum you want to draw two. Okay, so there's few ways you can draw about perpendicular bisector line. One of the easiest way, if you have the compass, you can use the compass to draw one line here, and then draw one line like this, and then you're connecting them. You're connecting about both intersection, and then you will get about perpendicular bisector line. This is one of the way you can use a compass to draw it. Another method is kind of like, I don't know, last time my student actually showed me. Do I have any ruler here? Just give me a moment. Okay, so another method is my student is just I cannot find my ruler here, but it's fine. Basically, they will use the ruler to form a 90 degree, and then they use a ruler to measure the line. Let's say it's 10 centimeter. They want to measure the center point at the middle, right? Then they do 10 divided by 2, so it's 5 centimeter. If today you get something like 4.2 centimeter, then they divide 2, the center point at 2.1 centimeter, and then they use the two ruler like, they want to make like they use the two rulers, something like this, make them to have a 90 degree. Because in order to get this line, they have two conditions. First condition is it must be 90 degree. Second condition is they must passing through the center point. Okay, so if you understand the idea, then I will try to demo to you here. So okay, this is if I connecting R to R here. Okay, this is not the line I want. I want to find the perpendicular bisector line. This is the reason why I must passing through the center point of it. And then I need to draw a line is kind of 90 degrees to this line. Okay, this is my first perpendicular bisector line. Then I will cancel out this one. Okay, and then I need to draw another perpendicular bisector line. Maybe here I can try any other point if I want. Okay, maybe I can connecting S to the S. You see, I'm connecting the S to the S, right? Okay, this is not the line I want. I need to draw a perpendicular bisector of this line. Then, okay, this is a little bit hard, but I try my best to draw. Okay, so this is how many, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8, 4, so it will be 4, 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, 2, sorry. So the center will be somewhere here. Okay, definitely use a ruler will be easier lah. Okay, so I kind of want to draw a... Yeah, it's very hard for me to draw a nice line to show you. Okay, so then I want to draw a 90-degree line here. But here, actually, I'm using the freehand. So if I have any tool or what, then I can actually draw until more accurate. So, okay, it's sort of like this. Okay, so it must be passing through the center point, and yeah, this is another perpendicular bisector line. Then you can see both perpendicular bisector lines that intersect at this point, isn't it? So this is where the center point is. And after you get the center point already, you can also measure something like this to want to make sure your point is correct or wrong. Okay, so you can see if I connecting between R and R prime, you can see here will definitely look like 90 degree. If you know how the 90 degree look like, I can do the same testing for any other point. Let's say today I connecting Q to the Q here. And you realize here will look like 90 degree. Okay, this is the purpose they call it like 90 degree, isn't it? Okay, so yeah. So like what I say, how to find the center point is you need to draw two perpendicular bisector line, and then you find the intersection point. Then that one will be the rotation point. Alright, so let me read the question. I see like so many questions like keep on spamming here. We have about 500 students now. Okay, so okay, let me explain a little bit about skew factor since we already at the transformation already. Okay, for skew factor, right? Skew factor we will skew factor. Normally we will use the K to represent it. We will use the K to represent the skew factor. You just need to understand when skew factor is between -1 to 1, even though it's called enlargement, your image actually becomes smaller. So therefore, I will give you some example. If skew factor is 1/2, 1/3, 1/4, or -1/2, -1/3, or -1/4. All this skew factor, right? Your image actually will become smaller than the object. Yeah, because some students will argue with me, so enlargement means the image must be bigger. Not really. If the skew factor is between -1 and 1, then your image actually becomes smaller, even though it's called enlargement, but it will still become smaller here. Okay? First thing is you need to know, because some student will think like the image will become smaller is because of negative. So the student will tell you -2 means the image becomes smaller. No. -2, as long as the skew factor is bigger than 1, the image definitely become bigger. So -2 also become bigger, but at a different direction. So then I go to the second question, which the student asked me. So what is the meaning of skew factor is negative? Okay, one of the easiest answer I can answer you is, if skew factor is negative, you can see the image and object, they will like twist in a different direction. So in like this one, you can see yeah, I believe this one is a good example for negative skew factor, because if this one is the image, is the object, then if I do the enlargement, right, it must follow the same pattern. It follow the same pattern. You can see this one exactly we call it same pattern. In this case, skew factor must be positive. So over here I see actually they are not the same pattern. So I guess skew factor will be negative in this case. Okay, but okay, first thing is if you want me to explain further, I need to find where is the center point of the skew factor here. So in order to find the center point of skew factor, normally what we will do is we will connecting the point to the point. Alright. So the J and D will be the same point. D and L will be the same point, right? So I will just connecting them. Let me use the straight line because yeah, if not the straight line, sometimes it will be quite hard. Okay, then I kind of draw another line here. So I can connect things about my B and okay, let me digest it. Yeah. My M and C will be the same point also, right? M and C will be the M and C will be the same point. Then I'm connecting between M and C. Alright, then you kind of need to find their intersection point. So I guess their intersection point should be this coordinate. Should be this coordinate here. Yeah, maybe my straight line is not so perfect. But let's see. Is this one is their center point or not? What we will do is, okay, first thing we kind of need to see what's the skew factor. So in order to get the skew factor, right, normally I will take one of the horizontal line to measure. Like this one is like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is 1, 2, 3. So I know skew factor should be 2. How to get a skew factor? How to get a skew factor here? Use the image divided by object. Yeah, but I didn't read the question lah. I'm not sure about which one is image and object, but let's see. PQRS is an image of ABCD. PQRS is the image of ABCD. Alright, so ABCD will be the object. Oh, okay. Yeah, because this question, I should read the question first. Because this one is the image, right? Then, okay. Then I cannot, just now I do wrongly already. Because I don't read the question and I straight away do. Okay, so what we understand is from this object, first transformation, he become the image first, image number 1. Then only it become image number 2, which is then only enlarge. So therefore, if I want to find the center point, I should connecting between PQRS and LKJM. Alright, so therefore just now I'm using the object and image 2, which is wrong. Okay, so yeah, so therefore if you want to find this one, then yeah, do the same thing. You kind of need to connect also. So this is image 1 to image 2, right? So I can count here like 1, 2, 3. This is 6. So it's 6 over 3. Skew factor is still 2. Alright, but then you will have the different center point here. Okay, so in order to find their center point, you kind of need to connecting them as well. So therefore, I know that L and R is the same point. I can connecting them. I make them L and R is the same point, isn't it? I make them longer a little bit. Okay, then I can connecting between Q and K. Okay, or I can connecting between L to J if I wanted to. I take a straight line. I mean P. Yeah, P to J. So you realize they intersect at this point. You can see both lines intersect at this point, isn't it? That one will be the center point. Okay, so if this one is the center point, right, then now I can explain about what is skew factor negative means here. Okay. You want to show this is center point or not? If you not believe me, you can just connecting one more point like S to M. You can try your best to connecting S to M. You realize you were passing through the same point as well. If you connect carefully, oops. Yeah, you can see this line actually were passing through the same center point as well. So therefore, this one will be the center point. Okay, so from this center point, you can see, if I want to understand the skew factor, right? Okay, one of the good way is you need to see the translation from center point to any of the point here. Okay, so you can see, let's say we go to the Q and K. Okay, so if from center point to the Q and center point to the K, we see the translation. You see, right now I'm saying about translation. So I use the red color. I'm moving like 1 to the right and moving 2 unit going top. This one translation called what? Translation called 1, 2, isn't it? From center point to the Q. Okay, so I will say OQ from O to the Q. Okay, so right now, if I want to from center point O to K, because K will be the image of Q, right? So I know the skew factor is -2. So what I will do is, I will multiply -2 here. You can see if I multiply -2 for this translation, this is what I will get. I will get -2, -4. It's from O to K. O will be my center point. So -2 means what? I going 2 unit to the left hand side. -4 means what? I going down 4 unit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I will get my K. And you might ask me, sir, what if the skew factor is +2? Then I will multiply +2 here. I will get 2, 4. This is depart from the center point. So therefore, my K supposedly should be 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. My K will be here. If my skew factor is +2. But if my skew factor is -2, my K is here. Because you can see, I will actually moving here, isn't it? So this is the difference between skew factor is positive or negative. So you can check for any other point also makes sense one. So example, from center point to the, let's say from center point to the S, you can see it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Coming down 1 unit. So we call 5 -1. Since I understand the skew factor is -2, then I can find the image of this point by doing multiply this one, -10, 2. So basically mean I know if I want to find the image of S, I will need to move 10 units from the center point to the left hand side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then 2 basically means what? I'm moving up 2 units. 1, 2. So M will be the image of S here. Okay, this is what happened when the skew factor is -2. So in this case, I will just say enlargement with the skew factor -2 at the center of 3, 6. Okay, so yeah, this is how we do skew factor when it has a negative. Okay, now I can read some comment. I'm not going to do plan. The drawing part, if you want to learn how to do the drawing part, draw the plan one, you can just go to watch my video. I have a full tutorial video about that. So the enlargement need to show the center point. Yes, enlargement you must write the center point. Yeah, normally I will write the coordinate unless it's actually like for a specific like point P or point Q, you can write P or Q here. No, for enlargement it's a 3-point one for the fully description. You must have enlargement 1 point, skew factor 1 point, center point 1 point. Same to rotation, you write rotation 1 point, write how many angles you rotate clockwise or anti-clockwise, you have another point, write the center point, you have a third point. Only reflection and translation is a 2-point one. Okay, so any other things here? Okay, please don't ask me anything not related to the math one. I'm not going to answer anything is out of topic. At least not here. Alright, because tomorrow you kind of have the exam. I hope you kind of can focus at your exam here. If rotation 180, how to find the center point is very easy. Same idea to the enlargement. You basically connecting image and object. Just use a straight line to connect and then find two intersection point. You just need to connect two lines between image and object and then find an intersection point. You can find the center point when you rotate 180. 180 is super easy to find the center point. If you want to see I discuss other paper, I already discussed like most of the 2020 papers. Some is at my masterclass, you kind of need to pay to access, but some I actually discuss at the public. You just go to my channel and type the modern math trial paper, or you type Selangor. Sometimes I already discussed, but some you need to pay to watch, but some you can watch it for free. Yeah, you can think like this. Is if skew factor is negative, basically the image will be invert. Basically, it's not fall in the same direction. It kind of will rotate a little bit. Is rotation 180? No, rotation 180 is not the same with skew factor -1. Yeah, I remember last time I tried already. It's not the same. They were in the different position. Okay, so skew factor equals to -2. The object become bigger. Only skew factor between -1 and 1, the object can become smaller. Okay, yeah, every year also a lot of students ask me about the exit thingy, so about statistics. So let me just quickly go through here. So it's for histogram. Normally, y-axis is the frequency, and x-axis you have two choices. You can use boundary, upper bound and lower bound, or midpoint. Okay, so for histogram, depend what you want. Normally, I prefer boundary if you ask me. So like, if I draw the histogram, here I will use lower bound, and I will use upper bound here. And then I will connecting next one. So the upper bound right now will become lower bound, and then I'll have another upper bound. I will use the boundary. Okay, and then very important, if you doesn't start from the y-axis, right, you kind of need to add this sign here to represent is the first range there is not in skew. Alright, this is something like very important. If today you want to use the midpoint, because here you can see my lower bound and upper bound I write at the line there. But then if I use the midpoint, if I do the same thing, right, I will write the midpoint value at the center of my histogram, of my bar here, at the center of my bar there. So this is something like very important, like how you label them. So yeah, this one I will write the second midpoint here. It's different when I do the boundary, but both will be accepted in SPM. You can either do about boundary or midpoint. Okay, so but normally come out histogram will be extremely easy and less likely to come out histogram as well. They prefer ogive. Ogive is one of the most popular one, and then after that I think it's a frequency polygon, then only come to the histogram. So I don't think histogram is a popular one. So okay, then we go to the ogive first. Okay, so for ogive, the line must always start from 0. So if the table over there doesn't have the frequency 0, you need to add one more class by yourself, because ogive must always start at 0. And then normally I will have something like this. And this line must be the curved line. Don't use straight line ruler to draw it. Okay, you will be minus mark. If you have the curved ruler, you can go ahead and try it. I tried it myself. It's like very hard, very hard as well. So normally I use a freehand to draw my ogive graph. Cannot use a ruler. Alright, so the y-axis is the cumulative frequency. This is the only diagram actually use the only graph actually use the cumulative frequency. And the x-axis fixed already, we only use upper boundary. You cannot use the midpoint here. Okay, we only use upper boundary here. Okay, so remember, must start at 0. Okay, but if you don't like to start at like the 0, 0 here, you want to start slightly further a little bit, you can also. But normally here you need to add this sign to tell the examiner it's not in skill. Yeah, this is something quite important. Yeah, I do make few video about enlargement. You can go check it out. Definitely we will say about skill factor. I believe I do discuss negative skill factor in my previous video, but it's like 5 or 6 years ago. Yeah. Okay, lastly about frequency polygon, because I see the message actually like so many frequency polygon are going on here. Okay, so for frequency polygon, right? Okay, right now we are talking about frequency polygon. Okay, frequency polygon, y-axis is frequency only. Same with histogram, frequency only. But frequency polygon, we can only use midpoint for our x-axis. We only use midpoint. We never use boundary for frequency polygon. And frequency polygon is, the polygon must always start at 0 and end at 0. So therefore, if the table you have doesn't start from 0 and end at 0, you need to add one more midpoint by yourself. Okay, if not, you cannot draw the frequency polygon. Okay, so it's also very depend where you want to start. So if let's say you want to start on the y-axis, then you no need to add the sign. Okay, so you can just draw your frequency polygon by yourself. But you want to make sure it will start with 0 and end with 0. So you can see it must end with 0 and start with 0. Okay. I think the key's point is the sign, isn't it? Only histogram no need to start from 0. Yes, only histogram no need to start at 0. Yes, you're right. Any tips for IGCSE student taking? IGCSE also taking exam tomorrow. I think February and March is only for India students, isn't it? That one is a bit out of topic because that one is IGCSE. But this live streaming is purely focused at SPM. So I'm sorry about IGCSE student. But I do have like quite a lot of IGCSE discussion paper. I mean video at my channel. You can go check it out. Okay, so any tips for paper 1? I think for paper 1, right? Because this is how you get the mark, right? Because for paper 1 is 40 mark. It's about mark lah. I don't write percentage. So for paper 2 is 100 mark, and then they add together, like divide 140, right? So like if you imagine 40 divided by 140, you actually for paper 1 you get about 29% only. So for me, I would say paper 1 is not really important because in SPM, right, I believe 70 is already you get A minus. Maybe 65 you already get A minus. So means what? Mean if you got 0 in paper 1, but you got all correct in paper 2, you are getting A minus. So therefore, because normally paper 1 is harder. I don't know why. They will just come out the question is harder. But for paper 1, you have about 10 questions. You can solve by just using the calculator. Because right now, nowadays, our calculator is very advanced. You can use a calculator to solve indices, to solve base number, to solve some trigo questions, and then you can use it to solve the matrix. Yeah, all most of the questions lah. Yeah, you can use calculator to get. So I think calculator, if you know how to use a calculator, you can at least get about bonus mark, about 5 mark to 8 mark bonus mark for paper 1. And like 40 questions, you already got about 5 or 6 correct, right? And then you have another 10 mark, I think is for Form 1 to Form 3 one, which I think is not too bad lah. So yeah, so I think paper 1 is very easy to score about 15 to 20. And then you have another 20 question, I think is like, you must be good. And then I normally they have about 5 questions. It's like very hard one. It's going to take you so like 10 minutes to solve one question like that. So for me, I would just say you just ignore those like take time question. Go to do all the easy question first. Okay, so yeah, so don't need to worry so much about paper 1 because paper 2 itself is already like 70%, right? Yeah, it's 71% for paper 2. So, sorry, no zero here. So, I would say focus more on the paper 2 because last time I thought paper 1 is 40, paper 2 is 60. So, therefore, I always tell my students paper 1 is very important because it takes about 40 marks. But then, after that, I go to Google. It's not really because it divide 140. So yeah. How to manage time in paper 1? I would say if you want to manage time in paper 1, right, focus on those questions because each student have different talent and specific question. But normally for me, if I do at the paper 1, if I read first time, I don't know what the question is talking about, I will skip that question first. Because you know the question you can do one. So when you read at the first time, you realize you can understand or roughly understand, you kind of need to read one more time to confirm, then you choose that question. But you read one time already, the whole question, you have no idea what is going on, skip that question first. You come back after that. Because question 1, I believe you have very limited time for question 1. Question is about 2 to 3 minutes only. So you want to make sure you do like really fast. Can you show us how to do matrix with calculator later? Actually, I already have that video. You go to my channel and you look for the Casio playlist. I teach everything about modern math, how to use calculator. Not only matrix, I actually teach how to do base number, how to solve simultaneous. Yeah, I have about, I think 10 to 20 video is for modern math one. Just go to my YouTube channel and look for one playlist. It's called Casio playlist. It's not mistaken. You can go check it out. Any topics focus on to assure credit? I would say M for the paper 2, section B, which is the 5 question choose for, because that part is about 48 mark, you know. So if you get that part correct, you will get 48. So you get about 34 mark already. I mean, if section B itself for paper 2, section B itself correct, right? You get 34 out of total, you know. And I guess credit is about 40 to 41 maybe, or 40 to 42 or something like that. So you just need to correct a little bit more from other, no matter paper 1 or section A. Yeah, so for me, section B, the 48 mark, you must get all correct if possible lah. Because graph function and statistics normally is very easy. Just need to plot it correctly. And then you have 2 questions. Either you want to choose earth or you want to choose transformation. Yeah, so you really want to, because last minute already, I cannot ask you go to learn new topic. But if you really like, you want to like spend a midnight oil tonight, go to study those topics like coming out in both paper 1, like straight line, it will coming out in both paper, I would say is important. Like metrics coming out in both paper, I would say important. Yeah, you have reference book. I believe a lot of you have so many reference book. Yeah, go to check out those topic coming out in both paper one and study one more topic, one or two maybe. But listen to me. If tomorrow you go to take the math exam, I believe paper one and paper two also tomorrow, right? Math paper, you need to have at least 5 hours of sleep. Because I had so many students will tell me after the exam, sir, actually I got panic at the exam. Because when you not enough sleep, it's very easy you get panic or suddenly your mind will actually get blank and then you do not know what to do or you forgot about everything you learned. Or maybe you doesn't get blank, you doesn't get panic, but you will make a loss of careless mistake if you have not enough sleep. So I strongly advise you to go to sleep at least 5 hours before you go to take the exam. Because even I do ever teach the class without sleep. I mean I didn't sleep. I plan like I will go to sleep after my class. And then when I go to teach that time, I make a lot of mistake at the 2 hour class. Yeah, because when you not enough sleep, it's very hard for you to focus. So trust me, please go to sleep. I know because when I at your age, I also love to burn the midnight oil. I would think, never mind, I can sleep after the exam. But for math or MF paper, right? Please go to sleep at least 5 hours, and if possible, eat some vitamin C. Because last time my MF teacher told me vitamin C can help you boost your immune system so that you won't get flu or headache the second day. Yeah, go to eat some vitamin C and take some sleep, okay? Your sleep is very important, especially math paper. You need a lot of focus one because you need to do fast and then you need to calculate and then you need to use a lot of brain. It's not like bio or sejarah you just memorize. Like math, you actually need to have a clear mind. You need to think. So yeah, for me, I think if let's say your exam at 8, right, you at least you make sure you sleep at 2 to 7 and then you go to school. Yeah, you kind of need to manage your time properly. Alright, so yeah, wake up early to study is good. It's a very good idea. Seriously, like wake up at 5 a.m. to study. But not like you sleep 2 hours and wake up. That one is very suffering. So you just estimate your time nicely. I don't know. I read some science article. They say like 3 hours is a minimum time for your brain to rest, and then 5 hours is minimum time for your whole body to rest, and 7 hours I forgot already lah. But then yeah, so on average, right, 5 hours I think is a good idea. So normally even I have a lot of event going on, I also want to make sure I will minimum sleep for 5 hours lah if I want to perform well. So yeah, the life actually is ending anytime soon. So yeah, is there any more thing you want to ask me? If you want me to teach you a whole new topic, I would just advise you to go to watch my video because I have damn a lot of video about modern math. You can go check it out. What need to remember in Earth one more time? Okay, for Earth normally distance you have two types of distance. So like one is flight north south, then one distance equal to theta times 60. If you want to fly about east-west, distance equal to theta times 60 times cos alpha. And then you pay attention on diameter. You have diameter of the Earth and diameter of the parallel latitude. Both also change their longitude, but only one of it will change their latitude. Yeah, Earth actually for me is very easy lah. If I choose, I always will do the Earth again. So when will you be live again for MF? Definitely Thursday I will have live for MF. And yeah, I still not sure for my masterclass student. Yeah, because I don't think here have my masterclass student. If has, I'm still not sure we have class on March or not. Because actually this month actually want to have to focus on new care SSM syllabus. And your exam is on 10th of March, right? So it's about 1 week only. But for my masterclass student, I want to say sorry about the video because if you stop subscribe already, I think YouTube will not allow you to watch the member only content. So you kind of need to stop it after your ML exam if you want to watch it. If you don't want to watch it, you can stop anytime. Can you explain about multiplication of matrix? I would say just use a calculator to do the work. But if you want me to explain, I would just ask you to go to watch my YouTube video lah, because I have few matrix video over there. Just go to my YouTube, and then at the bottom you see a small search button. Click the search, type matrix, and then it will come out all my matrix video there. How to find the distance from North Pole A to South Pole A? Yeah, it's very easy one, because North Pole to South Pole is 180 degree. So you just use 180 times 60, that's all. Any advice for IGCSE? IGCSE? Nah, I cannot think any advice for IGCSE because it's totally different thing. The same thing, need to have enough sleep, eat vitamin C. If I get credit at this action, I plan you dinner, sir. Yeah, if you ever able to meet me. Can I use 570 EX calculator? Definitely yes. I double confirm with Casio Malaysia a few times. Yeah, definitely you can bring the EX to the exam hall. If any of you suddenly being banned to bring the EX calculator to the exam hall this year, please feedback to me. Then I will feedback to the Casio Malaysia to ask why. Because I like confirm with them few time already, and then they say definitely you can bring the EX calculator to the exam hall. Then I think should be fine. Please follow the SOP. Don't break the SOP. So may I know the date for MF live stream? Every Thursday 8 to 10 until your exam. I think next week should be the last Thursday, right? Then you go to your exam. Let me check my calendar again. Yeah, so next Thursday should be the last class for maybe one day before your MF exam. I will do another one more live streaming for MF. So how can I know the matrix have the matrix song sang? I don't get your questions. Okay, let me explain quickly about the speed time graph lah. Okay, if you have the speed time graph, right? Let's say this is speed, this is time. The only difficult part about speed time graph for me is about the distance, because you cannot see the distance straight away from the speed time graph. If today this is distance time graph, then a different story. Then let's say this is 10, then at least I know the car actually travel about 10 km because I see a 10 here. I can get the distance easily from distance time graph. But for speed time graph, if you want to get the distance, you need to find the area, because area is equal to the distance. This is one of the most important thing about speed time graph, and they have different meaning about their gradient. Like the gradient for speed time graph is rate of change of speed or acceleration, but the gradient for distance time graph will be the speed. Okay, so yeah, this is the only difference between speed time and velocity and distance time. I have the video about this, so you can go check it out as well. True false statement is very easy. If both statement is okay, if we see the word and, both statement must be true, then only can be true. Both statement must be false, then only can be false. If all one of it is true, then it's true. Must be both also false for all must be both also false, then only is a false statement. That one is very easy lah, mathematical reasoning. Yeah, just go to check it out. It's super easy. Yeah, I think speed time graph is more famous than distance time graph, if you ask me. Yeah, because speed time graph you have more work to do. Distance time graph normally is easier. Yeah, no inverse metric equals to AD minus BC equals to 0. Yeah, very good job. So yeah, that one is so-called a determinant. You will decide you have an inverse metric or not, which is AD minus BC equals to 0. Yeah, so how to know if the inverse is the metric got inverse metric or not? Yeah, the student just replied just now. We check about AD minus BC. If AD minus BC will equal to 0, then you have no inverse metric. If AD minus BC is not equal to 0, then you have inverse metric. Thank you for helping me at A plus in 2019. Yeah, you're most welcome. Yeah, we have a lot of ex students here. Yeah, I hope all of you after finish SPM, yeah, you can join the Y equals to MX plus C Facebook group or my Discord channel to help your junior, because I am only one person. There's no way I help about thousands of you. So yeah, please go to join the group and try, because every day got so many of you keep on asking me about questions. You imagine one student ask me 5 questions. If I have 100 students, I need to answer about 500 questions, you know. So normally I will just direct my student to my Facebook group or Discord group. I believe that Alvin already shared the Discord channel link here. Yeah, so that I know you all already finished your SPM. So right now you're kind of a senior, right? So you can be there to help your junior. Yeah, this is the best way to thanks me. And definitely if you can help me to share my channel, it will be even better. Thanks, sir. Cause my older sister says she got A plus because of this. Yeah, I'm so happy to see so many students can get A plus from my channel, because yeah, I even have some student comment he actually from fail to A plus just by watching my video. Yeah, so actually I have a lot of very useful video, even though I speak in a very broken English, but then yeah, I think the content actually kind of useful. But then now it's kind of too late to watch all my video, because I have more than 600 video in my channel. It's about math and MF. But if you want to focus on one or two topic, I think now is still okay for you to watch specific video. For fail, I got A minus in math. Yeah, good to hear that. So I think it's still possible, especially for SPM. They lower down the boundary. So actually, it's quite easy to get A minus. If like even maybe you get C or B in your trial exam, most likely you will get A minus in the SPM. So no need to be too stressful, and try to rest well and just remember all the important thing. And then for MF, one of the very important thing is read the question carefully, because even me sometimes I also will make the carrot mistake. I also will uh just like doesn't read so until so careful, and then ignore some keywords, and then at the end I will lose the mark. So make sure you have enough rest, then you should be able to read the question carefully and try to get every mark. I see some student actually trying to spam something here. So yeah, is there any more question you want to ask me? Yeah, definitely I think SPM will be easier than trial. Every year also like that. Yeah, if you really have no idea how to do Earth, please don't choose the Earth question here. Okay, because one day I don't think it's enough for you to master the Earth. Hi, Mr. Pang, do you teach A-level math? Not really, because I taught SBM, I taught A-level math last time many years ago, but I kind of forgot most of the thing already. Right now, actually, I revised myself because I want to make about A-level and STPM video. So I actually like restudy everything. About mathematical reasoning, please go to watch my video. I'm not going to teach here because that one needs example. I think MF also will definitely SPM one easier than trial. Because trial normally is harder. You can just see the, like you go to see any 2019 trial paper from any stage. And then you go to see the 2019 like MF past year paper, you realize the past year paper is a lot easier. But same thing like what I say, you should expect about 10 to 20% of K-bar. Yeah, this is happen every year one. So when you see you have one or two questions is like out of your knowledge or you don't get the idea what the question one is totally fine and normal. Like what I say, even though you can't do all the K-bar question, normally you can still get A plus. Not A minus, is A plus. Even you can't do all the K-bar question. But you must be able to answer non-K-bar question and get full mark lah. If you got some wrong about non-K-bar question, maybe you still can get A minus. So because I have students, when they see the K-bar question, they already start to get panic already. They're like, oh my god, this question I don't understand. Oh my god. But you just see that question, how many mark only? Maybe only 4 mark or only 6 mark. You just imagine if you lost the 6 mark, it's not end of the world. You can still get A plus. So don't panic. Just take it easy and try your best to get correct for those non-K-bar questions. This is the mindset sometimes is very important. If you want to change the to base 5, okay, maybe this one I can just, it's very easy. Today, let's say I have 100. This is base 10. I want to change it into the base 5. I divided 5. Maybe I do 103 lah. I just divide 5 lah. And this is 20, right? Remainder is 3. Divided 5 again, I got 4. Remainder is 0. And then I read like this. So this is 403 base 5. So 103 convert to the base 5. You just divide like this. Then you can easily get about base 5. Because base 5 is the only base number you cannot use a calculator. You must do it manually. Okay, so I guess that's all for the live streaming today. Yeah, we have about 400 something. We have about 400 students still in the line. I wish you all the best for the exam tomorrow. Please let me know if tomorrow you see any K-bar question is very interesting. I think you can't take back your paper 2, but you can take back your paper 1, right? You have any question very interesting, yeah, please share to me after your exam. I love to see any interesting question. Yeah. So, yep. And for algebra, if you can use a calculator, try your best to use a calculator. And yeah, I see some function question I'm not going to answer right now because right now it's focused on modern math. Yeah, so yeah, just or both paper also cannot take back. Okay, then maybe you can just memorize it. I don't know. Yeah, tomorrow just share with me how you do for your modern math. I wish all of you can get A for your modern math because for me modern math is quite easy. But I understand not all the students good in math. So just do your best. Rest well. Trust me, rest well. And yeah, drink some water. Yeah, actually can help you to chill yourself. So yeah, all the best and good luck. So I hope tomorrow paper will be easier also. So yeah, I will see you guys around at my YouTube channel. And after SPM, please go to follow my Facebook group or my Discord to help your junior. I need more volunteer to help the junior. Alright, so yeah, all the best and take care and rest well and good night. Bye bye.